before we get started, I just noticed that Anton was out here. Just when I thought I'd finally reunite with Olivia after all these years. Dice, that's a secret. I'm glad the ingredients I picked up in my travels are useful for something at least. But a drinking contest? After all those drinks, she's finally even tipsy? My head! Come on, Anton, pull it together. I finally found Sharon. I can't quit just now. I get the feeling Anton's lived a tough life. Nonsense, he's traveled the world. But yeah, bonding time. Man, a ladies' drinking contest was sure one hell of an idea. I'd imagine that all the booze for the night would go just like that, though. Scales are really something else. That's for sure. They would have drank me right around the table. Anyway, we can still make some original cocktails with a few ingredients. Just gotta be a little creative with them. Make some original cocktails sounds like a fun activity to do with someone. Who would be interested? So you get crap from the ones who have stars and are hearts. So let's see. Out of this group, let's just do the one that I know people are going to demand right off the get-go. Laura, you're up. Reed knew just who he wanted to invite and called them. They used a special ticket to make an original cocktail. Alright, I brought a lot of ingredients for us to choose from, so now we've just got to figure out where to start. This should put the skills I've learned from preparing lunches all sorts to the test, don't you think? Feel welcome to use any of the ingredients we have on hand, too. I can't wait to try your concoction. The two of them worked together to make a cocktail. Settle on which ingredients would complement the drink best through trial and error. After a while, they completed their special cocktail. I call this the Arseid Oni. I don't know that word. A gold cocktail. It matches perfectly with the radiance so synonymous with the Arseid name. The base is my father's favorite, Steinrose Malster. He would let me try just a little on special occasions in the past, but at the time I was too young to have the right taste for it. Besides the Steinrose, I add some milk, sugar, and egg. It makes for a smooth drink with a rich, sweet taste, so it's like an eggnog, I'm assuming? It looks amazing. You should serve some up to the Viscount sometime. I really like what you've done here. It's really unique. In fact, I think I'll add it to our menu. How do you enjoy a glass of that on that bench? Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll get a royalty for him selling this, right? 50 mirror a glass, I assume? The two enjoyed their special cocktail while basking in the light of the lanterns, the sound of waves filling their ears. After a while, they went back to complete their personal tasks. Afterward, Reen decided to walk back with Laura. He needed a shoulder to stand up straight up on, right? They enjoyed the night air along the way, stretching out the evening as long as they could. And then...
Reen, you have my gratitude.
I do? Where's this coming from?
Well, perhaps it's just the festive atmosphere getting to me. Ours was a long, arduous journey. But walking this path has allowed me to grow in ways I thought unimaginable. Not just as a swordsman, but as a person of principle. Strong and resolute, reconciling with Fee, training with Monica, and becoming closer to them in the process. Those experiences, and the fact that I was able to surpass my father, are proof of how far I've come.
Laura, you've always been there for me when I needed it most. Like in our very first field study, back when we were still students, or on Brioni Island beneath the pouring rain. I wouldn't be here if not for that radiant spirit of yours, always shining bright to guide my way. In that sense, I think I should be the one thanking you.
Reen, tomorrow may prove our most decisive battle yet, but I know Class 7 has nothing to fear. The day will be ours. Together, you and I shall cut a path through on the wings of victory.
I couldn't put it better myself. Laura's made it plenty clear how she feels about me. She's overcome so much for herself, but me, I'm just sitting around waiting for the next rivalry to start. This could be our final night together. Is this really how I want it to end? Yeah, I'll just reload. Laura, I don't know if I'm in a position to ask this of you, but would you mind if we had a talk together later tonight? You mean... I have no reason to refuse, but you may find yourself busier than you expected. Call me on Marcus too when you're ready to confirm. I'll be waiting. Sure thing. So we get the Bravery Anima. And then if you want to see this, Proof of Unwavering Bond with Laura. Strength, Accuracy, Crit Rate. And that's actually a decent crit item, go figure, right? That gives me crit anyway, so who cares? Okay, I'm just gonna skip forward to the date thing if they have any extra scenes, and I'll show that in a moment. Verify that you can schedule more than one date. So let's head to the beach for the next one. We're gonna do fireworks. This is with Alphen. Welcome to the beach. Pretty romantic at this time of night, much more than it is during the day. If you're a special ticket holder, you can have 2 sparklers for each ticket. How about enjoy some sparklers by the beach? It's a perfect way to take in the lake. Sparkler seems like fun. Good chance to spend time with someone. Reed knew just who he wanted to invite and called them. These special ticket gets some sparklers. That's something so exquisite to burning. There's something so exquisite to burning sparklers on a calm, pure white beach like this one. I feel like I've added another summer treat to my list thanks to you. I'm just glad to hear you're having fun. I was worried you'd be tired of all the firework displays, being royalty and all. Oh, guess they're all done. Those were the most beautiful fireworks I've ever seen. It was wonderful, Reen. Let's be sure to do this again. We can invite Lise next time as well. Sure, as you wish, Your Highness. They safely disposed of the sparklers and promptly left the beach. They then parted ways, both having something they had to get back to for the evening. And then, contradicting what they just said, afterward, Reen decided to walk back with Alf. They enjoyed the night air along the way, stretching out the evening as long as they could. Until...
Reen, it appears my thanks are in order.
Thanks? What for, Your Highness?
I was just thinking of how much you've done for me and my family. The number of times you and Elise have come to our aid are more than I can even count. Like with Cedric 2 years ago in the Infernal Castle. Or with Olivert and his radiant wings. You rescued my mother, and you visited my father in the hospital.
I'm not really sure I can take credit for that one. But it is true that Elise and I have unbreakable ties to House Ornor, as do my fathers, the both of them. I'm honored we share this connection, not just as noble houses, but as people.
As am I. I thank Adios every day for bringing you and Elise into my life. We in House Arnor love you as one of our own. You must survive tomorrow. If not for us, then for Elise as well. And as for Cedric, I pray you help him come to his senses.
Of course, Your Highness. I'm sorry, Elise, but I cannot hide how I feel. I just have one other thing to ask of you. Not as your Imperial Princess, but as nothing more than a normal girl. Oh? Might you spare a moment to speak with me once the festivities have ended? That is, unless you've already made plans with someone else, such as Elise, perhaps. Your Highness. Contact me on your Arcus 2 should you wish to meet. I will be awaiting your call. Her Highness already knows what's going on. She told me I didn't need to respond. But if I do share her of my feelings, I should do so. I should tell her so face to face. So we got the invitation. You get a little bit of stats. The love anima. Since I had to reload Laura's is marked as new again. 10,000 hit points, man. Revives you once, 50% drop rate, and I don't know if I mentioned, but these are Reen only. We have the mirrors. Welcome to the Castle of Mirrors. You want to experience the pride of Mishy Wonderland, the mystical world of mirrors? Deep inside is a renowned fortune teller who will tell you your future. One ticket is good for 2 people to enter. Have fun. Castle of Mirrors. Sounds like she'll be in there. I should invite someone who might be interested. So I can actually take any of them. But it's Elise's turn. Reen contacts his chosen companion on the Arcus 2. They use a special ticket to enter together. So this is the Castle of Mirrors? It looks as fantastical as they say. It's like we've stumbled into another dimension. The staff said there's a rest spot a little further down. Let's go. It's a shame these aren't like trick mirrors or anything, you know? They reach the rest spot and stop for a break. Walking with all these mirrors around has made me feel really disoriented. We're almost at the end. I wonder what we should ask the fortune teller. Well, I heard the one back there is her, so might as well ask what'll happen to me after tomorrow. Reen? I won't take it too seriously. What about you? What do I want to know? I've been waiting for you both.
Welcome to the Room of Fate's Unfolding.
I knew we would meet again, and I'm glad to see you looking well. I heard that you were working as a fortune teller here, so I decided to come here as a customer today. How about it, Beryl? That's no problem. Let us begin. What do you wish to know? So you would like to know what will happen to you after tomorrow. Your sister would like to know about a friend, is this not so? But how did you... It's good to see you're still on top of things. It's called a microphone. She has the place bugged like no tomorrow. Of course. Well, shall we begin? Reen, there are dark clouds surrounding your face. They are so dense that my sight cannot penetrate, but that does not mean there is no hope. The key to scattering this fog is within the special bonds between your friends. And one more thing. The bonds between us. What's the other thing? Unfortunately, even I do not know what it may be. It all depends on your efforts tomorrow, including whether you discover what that is. Not sure if I really understand, but I'll keep it in mind. My efforts tomorrow. Guess I'll need to think about how I should spend my time before the final battle. And next... Many troubles lie in wait for your dearest friend, Elise. Even if you overcome tomorrow's trials, she will be left with a great many burdens to shoulder. It is uncertain whether she can survive them, but the most important thing will undoubtedly be the support of those around her. Princess. No matter how things turn out, it's true that tomorrow won't be the end of her struggles considering the circumstances. It's okay, no matter what happens, I will be there for the princess. If it's for my closest friend, I'll help her bear any and all burdens. She suffered so much. I'll do it so she can smile again someday. I'm kinda jealous that Elfin has a friend like you. I intend to do everything I can, both as your brother and as one of the princess's subjects. We just have to survive tomorrow, no matter how hard it might be. Yes, I'll do my best too.
I pray fortune smiles upon you.
Until we meet again. They leave the Castle of Mirrors and its mysterious atmosphere behind, to return to what they were doing before. They enjoy the night air, yada yada.
Reen, I just wanted to let you know that I feel so lucky to be your sister.
Elise.
The war starts tomorrow. No one knows what'll become of the world afterward. Or you. But strangely enough, I don't feel the slightest bit afraid. I'll be right there for you on the Courageous 2. Even in the heat of battle, our hearts will remain connected, side by side.
You're exactly right. I am lucky to be your brother. I have both my fathers to thank for that, I suppose. And of course, Mom as well. We're the children of the Schwarzer house. Let's give it our all tomorrow. We'll get through this safe and sound and show Mom and Dad just how far we've come together.
Yes, let's.
Perhaps this isn't the best time to bring this up, but do you think you could make some time for me later tonight, Reen? Sure. Was there a ride you wanted to go on? No, I meant after the festivities. I was thinking that if you hadn't promised to spend this evening with anyone, you could perhaps spend it with me. We'll ignore the typo. Oh. Call me on your Arcus 2 once you decide. I'll be waiting for your call. I should contact Elise later if I decide I'm ready to face her feelings. Benevolence Anima. Proof of an unwavering bond with Elise. EP and Art Defense 200, reduce art cost, magic evade. It's pretty crappy. Welcome to the Haunted Villa, home to all manner of phantoms and ghouls. Only by riding the horror coaster and defeating the specters lurking within do you stand even a ghost of a chance of retaking the manor. Give it a try, that is, if you dare. Staff is really getting into the spirit of things, huh? You'll need a partner to accompany you if you hope to survive this ordeal. Why not invite a friend, or perhaps someone more? A ride and a game all in one, that should be fun. Maybe you should invite someone. I'm sure just about anyone would be willing to come. Clearly, this is a job for Fee. We need a bracer to back us up here. I don't know if they're gonna make us play the game or not. I hope not. Otherwise, we're going fast forward, just like last time. So basically, all we have to do is shoot the ghosts to raise our score. Get enough points and we win. So it's a ghost hunting game, huh? Sounds fun. Could make for some good training too. Let's give it a shot. So the two of you wish to brave the horrors, I see. I can only hope you manage to survive. I don't even remember the controls, to be honest with you guys.
Let's begin.
Wish it was a faster speed. But since your performance here doesn't really affect anything, it's just for amusement, I guess. Oh my god, we killed Mishy! But yeah, the thing about getting a high score is you really have to sit here and wait for the sucker to rack up. I am not making that mistake again. Although right here we do have to sit and bear it. Oh, so we could skip that. Hell no! Guess our score fell a bit short. Sorry, guess I still have a long ways to go. Don't feel too bad about it. I still had a great time with you either way. Thanks for coming along for the ride. No need for thanks. Just give me a shot next time you want to hang. You got it. After enjoying the ride, they soon went their separate ways, each returning to what they had been doing beforehand. Until this gets contradicted right here. Until...
Hey, Irene. Just wanted to tell you... thanks. For everything.
Fee.
I never would have made it this far if not for Sarah. Same goes for you and the rest of Class 7 too. Zeno, Leo, and the boss taught me a lot themselves, even before that. But now I can use all I've learned as a bracer. To protect instead of destroy. So tomorrow I'll be giving it everything I got. No holding back. Don't worry, Reen. I'll keep you safe, no matter what.
Thanks, Fee, but all you've said for me goes for you too. United we stand, unbroken. That's what it means to be a bracer, right? So let's do everything we can together. We can't let tomorrow slip out of our grasp.
Got it.
Come to think of it, I still haven't given her my answer. This is our last night together. Is this really how I want it to end? Fee, would you like to spend some more time with me later tonight? Huh? mean, yeah, totally. But I bet you're already busy enough as it is, so you know. Something else might come up. So just shoot me a call on the Argus once you know for sure, okay? Of course. Falcon Anima. So let's see. 25% evasion, so you can kind of turn Reen into a dodge tank of sorts with her. The balance down is pretty lame, it's just evasion that high is extremely hard to beat. That is definitely one of the better anima. Ferris wheel. This is the 5th and final event, so anything after this is just a repeat. This is the Great Ferris Wheel of Mishelam. It's been booked out for all of you, so you can head straight on. How would you enjoy the view of someone special tonight? Ferris wheel will be a great place to spend some quality time. Seems like the kind of thing that anyone could enjoy. See, I need to figure out who I still want to go for. We have 4 tickets, technically 3, because I already know who I'm going to go with here. So, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 2 have to be left out. But yeah, it's time for Emma. And she brought Ellie with her, I see. There doesn't seem to be any problem with the barrier at the moment. Hope everyone can rest easy, at least for tonight. I think you managed to give everyone some much-needed respite. But you need to make time for yourself so you can get a breather too. I know. Thank you for always taking such good care of me, Reen. Because of you, I'm very different from the experience and loss which I was when we first met. We can do this tomorrow. No matter what awaits us, I'll be here for you, Reen. Emma, I'm here for you too, always. The car gently lowered to the ground when the ride ended after offering them a spectacular view. Once on the ground, they both had other things to attend to. Afterward, Reen decided to walk back with Emma. They enjoyed the night air along the way, stretching out the evening as long as they could. Until...
Reen, I know this has been a long time coming, but I wanted to thank you.
Emma?
Being with all of you has taught me something. I don't have to be my sister, or my grandmother, or even my mother. I can be a witch in my own right, in my own way. Of course, I still have a lot more to learn before I actually get there. But still, I believe in myself. I believe I'll make it through tomorrow alongside everyone else, and one day become the witch I know I can be. This world of ours won't end. The future will come, and it'll be one I can spend with you.
I couldn't ask for anything more, Emma. Side by side, we'll continue to grow and improve. Me with my sword, and you with your staff. The others too, if we work together, not even the Great Twilight will stand a chance.
Right.
This could be our final night. Is this really how I want it to end? Hey, Emma? If it's alright with you, would you like to spend a bit of time together later tonight? Oh, I would love to. As long as you aren't too busy yourself, that is. Contact me in your Arcus once you know for sure. I'll be waiting. Sure thing. Yes, that 15 arts is really going to make a difference. Got the Wisdom Anima. So instead of her dealing, what, 30,000 per spell, and that'll be 30,100 or something. So you cast fast, you get evasion and more offensive stuff. Like, if you want to play a Magic Green, this will not do it, sadly. The reason for that being is, you can use Divine Song, or whatever it's called nowadays, to just insta-cast, so the whole art stuff isn't really as good. This is going to be a better one for a caster, I'd say, because at least your stuff is cheaper while using Divine Song. This one might be better if you're going to use Emma's Brave Order. Yeah. Okay, who's up next? You got something to say, Rex? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I should mention I cannot do Yuna's thing because I didn't do her heart events, but we should have all the other female characters. So without further ado, everyone's favorite, Toa. So we could have actually made the cocktail with her, but eh. Wow, it's beautiful. Look, over there, you can see the Castle of Mirrors. I got too excited again. Why do I always end up acting all weird like this in front of you? I'm honestly honored that I get to see that side of you. I'm glad we hung out. I haven't seen you enjoy yourself in a while. Really? Maybe I'm happy because you're here. I really treasure the days that we've gotten to spend together. At Thor's, at the branch campus, all of it has a special place in my heart. Oh, thank you, Toa. Those memories are special to me, too. Afterward, Reen decided to walk back with Toa. They enjoy the night air, yada yada. So they were seeing this
I wanted to take a second to thank you.
background yet. Thank me? What for?
For helping me out with student council, for staying by my side during the Civil War, and for always having my back. As a fellow branch campus instructor, you're always there for me. Just like Angie and the others. Or, no. What we have between us is something special all its own. So, thank you, Reen. For all the moments we've shared together.
I should be the one thanking you, Toa. You've done just as much for me, if not more. We've gone through so much in school and work alike. Every moment we spend together is a precious memory to me. But still, don't act like this is going to be the end. Someday we'll look back on tomorrow as just another day in our lives, I'm sure of it. We're not done making memories just yet, Toa. Let's keep at it, now and far into the future.
Yeah, let's.
This is the last night. Is this how I want it to end? Toa? Would you have time to chat later? Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm just worried that you might find yourself too busy later, but if you're not, contact me on the Arcus too. I'll wait for your call. Okay. So we get 3 strength and the Cosmos Anima. The one thing that sucks about doing the non-party members is you get a reduced reward, and this is pretty... like, prevent ailments. Does this mean, like, Grail Locket type stuff, or just that crappy stat down stuff? Back to the Ferris wheel. I mean, notice that they started you a little closer to the Ferris wheel, am I right? Yep, it's Sarah time. I have no idea why you're inviting me for a ride on the Ferris wheel. Should you be inviting someone else for this romantic night? Which is exactly why I want to invite you. I just remember that night where we stayed up drinking and talking. Oh yeah, it was only a few months ago, but feels like an age away now. Well, this is a special night. Spending with my cute student isn't too bad. Let's get a drink together sometime soon. And we can remember this night when we rode the Ferris wheel together. Sure, I'd like that. Can't get the drink here because the girls drank all of it. The car gently lowered to the ground when the ride ended after offering them a spectacular view. Hey, we're on the beach this time.
Thanks, Reen, for everything.
Instructor.
Looking back on it, I've been a pretty shoddy excuse of a teacher to you guys. Especially to you, Reen.
Happens.
But in the end, I ended up growing just as much as all of you. Not just as an instructor or as a bracer, but a person, too. Tomorrow, we fight for a better future. One where we can keep on growing. Together. What am I saying? You're all younger than me, so listen up. We're all gonna make it through this. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Understood?
Understood loud and clear. We'll pull through this, Instructor Sarah. This is the last night. Is this how I want it to end? Listen, Instructor, would you have time to chat later someplace? Sure. But don't let me take up your time if you got other people you need to see. I wouldn't want to get in the way of that. How do you get a hold of me on my Arcus if you still want to meet? I'll wait up for you. Got it. Speed Anima. So, let's take a look at that one. Not too shabby. Like, the only thing that's not too good is I already get the CP up from the one thing, so I would be regenerating a lot of CP per turn. You'd be looking at a lot of most likely, yeah, S-Craft spam. So we get 5. So when this hits level 10, I think that goes up to 6. So we'll be getting 12 CP per turn, including enemy turns. Oh boy, that sounds broken. Back to the Ferris wheel. How many tickets do we have left? 2, I think? Wasn't really looking because I was doing... Yeah, like, if you're gonna run into a... Oh, just one. So if you run into a large group of enemies, man, that would be rough. You basically use his turn, then you immediately follow up with the S-Craft. And you guys know how I feel about the new class. You probably saw this coming. Reen contacts the chosen companion. It's a great view. The whole of Mishelam sparkles. Being able to share a ride on a Ferris wheel with you is like a dream come true, Reen. Yeah, it's the same for me. I can't stop tomorrow from coming, but as long as you're here with me, at least I know that everything's gonna work out somehow. It's a little silly, but I like it when you say things like that. I've been able to keep my head up through everything because of you. Never gonna forget this moment. Me neither. The car gently lowered to the ground, yada yada.
Hey, Reen. Thanks for inviting me out tonight.
Of course. You don't need to thank me for that.
I just thought I'd never get a chance to spend time with you like this again. I mean, sure, it would have been nice to be here under better circumstances, but despite everything going on in the world, I still enjoyed our time tonight. Every last moment of it. So, thank you. I mean it.
Elisa, I should be the one thanking you for always staying by my side. We both have a lot at stake in tomorrow's battle, but that doesn't mean we have to face it alone. We'll get through it all together, Elisa, hand in hand.
Right. Hand in hand.
Elisa told me to forget all that's happened between us, but is this really how I wanted to end our final night? Elisa, I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do, but can we talk again after all this is over? Sure, I don't mind. But I get the feeling you might end up busy by then. If you still feel like it later, just call me on my Arcus. I'll be waiting. Right, I will. Got the Heaven Anima. This one's really lame. It's just a revive with a little bit of stats attached to it, which are kind of weak at this stage of the game. Okay, with all that behind us, let's head to the restaurant for Cassius. I have to say, when they finally get to Black, or Origins, I really hope this whole bonding stuff is left behind. I really do not care for it. Leave it in Persona. Green, there you are. Thanks for coming. Joshua filled me in on the details. I heard you two know each other from before. Yes, we became acquainted through Toval during the guild raid 4 years ago. Master Kafai told me much about Cassius as well, so we became friends in no time. After that, I introduced you and Arios. That duel you two had will go down in history as one of the greatest feats of swordsmanship in Sumerian history. Well, I must say I was amazed that your staff mastery could see off our blades. They seem like they're in an entirely different league as far as skill goes, the Divine Blade of Wind included. Looks like you're enjoying the evening, but I wonder if you would have time to discuss something. So, everything disappears once you talk to Cassius. I cannot help but be jealous of you. Your successors are well on the way to holding their own. I don't know about that. My son's one matter, but my daughter hasn't settled down at all. As for my other daughter, I'm both excited and worried about her future. But his lordship hasn't the slightest need to worry about successors. That may be true in matters of the sword, but I still have so many other matters unresolved. My student Aurelia Le Guin follows a similar path. I suppose a father is destined to worry about his children. Looks like you're enjoying the evening, but I wonder if you would have some time to discuss something. There is something specific I need to tell you. I've received a letter from Master Kafai. I heard he sent you one when he was traveling. He sent it from Longlai. It's probably because you were captured and Ymir was sealed off. Seems the Intelligence Division's Mark managed to track him down on his travels. Don't tell me something actually, never mind. It's him we're talking about. Though they were only sent as a warning, he chased them off with little effort. I say the Intelligence Division, but it's supposedly a different section than Arundel's. They're tasked with foreign affairs, and they seem to be active all over the continent. I heard about its existence from Altina. What did he have to say then? As you already know, the initial stage of the 8 Leaf School is to fully understand all of the form fundamentals in their entirety. In that regard, those who have been permitted to leave Master Kafai's side have been set on the path to mastery of the style. You now stand at the end of that path. Does that mean you're going to step in for him? Yes, I will see if you absorb the final teachings of Master Kafai's place. It won't take too long. Do you have time now? Allow me to relay to you what Master Kafai wrote in his letter. Reen, it would seem you have found yourself in a most dire situation. Even so, I believe you will overcome these obstacles blocking your path. I believe you can persevere despite all your struggles. I have therefore decided to avoid Ymir and keep myself hidden, that I may pass you this message through Cassius. There is, after all, a high possibility of you happening upon your fellow disciple for the first time in the midst of these turbulent days. Though you've already reached the intermediate level, I'm certain you are yet capable of more. You have been ever since the moment you mastered the formidable ogre within you. All you require now is proof. To earn it, you will need to conquer yourself. Only when you succeed will you be promoted, as is our tradition. Master Kafai, this is a lot to take in. How exactly am I supposed to conquer myself? The two may not be entirely comparable, but I remember hearing from Victor that you bore witness to a challenge not unlike this one 2 months ago. Oh. That's right, between his lordship and Prince Oligwin. Beyond that single strike you saw was an infinite number of possible outcomes playing out within our minds. I believe Countess Liguin was trying to confirm for herself just how far she had mastered her blade. In that sense, was I akin to a mirror, perfectly matching her stroke for stroke. I see, so he is I, and I am him. If you've come quite far as it is, if you already understand that much. That sword. That is not the sword you once wielded. Indeed, my blade has long since been thrown aside. I don't remember if the blade he gave Annis, or whatever her name was. Yeah, I can't remember her name. If the Genu was his original sword or not. It's been too long since I saw Sky 3. I borrowed the sword from a former subordinate, one who has also followed the path of the 8 Leaves. Despite not being a direct disciple, he nevertheless possessed an instinct greater than my own. I see, how very curious. It must be Colonel Richard of the Royal Army, or ex-colonel since the coup attempt. I hear he started a private research firm post-pardoning. I will soon be changing the form you perceive me as. You will then see me as that which you fear most deeply. I'm sure you can imagine what that may be. Yes, I can. But I know what I have to do. I have to confront this here and now. I'm ready to face the challenge before me, Cassius Bright, my fellow disciple. Nobly spoken, Reen Schwarzer. I, Victor Arseid, will be honored to stand as your witness.
We will begin the trial of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade. Let us see if you are worthy. What is your name?
Reen Schwarzer, an intermediate-level disciple of the 8 Leaves 1 Blade School.
Which form will you demonstrate mastery of?
The 7th form, Void, the nothingness that contains all.
He is I, and I am him.
I am him, and he is I.
Will you offer yourself to him to reach the peak of swordsmanship?
No, I will exist alongside him. We will be as one. The sword I seek is that of the Void, the gleaming blade that illuminates the darkness.
Then show me the light at the end of your journey. Show me by conquering yourself.
Now begin the trial of the Divine Blade, the peak of the 8 Leaves.
Move.
Show mastery of all crafts to reach the peak of swordsmanship. But I thought a paladin has to know when to sheath his sword.
Crimson Flash! It's my turn! Cut through!
Disappear.
I'm up! Arcane Dam!
Despair. Die.
It's my turn! Roar! Helix Strike!
Die.
All right, got it. I can't lose. Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. 8 Leaves! Breaking Dawn!
Well done.
The duel is over. The victor is Reen Schwarzer.
You have come a long way, young Reen. Thank you, Lieutenant General. I finally understand what my master was trying to teach me. I can feel it, body and soul. The 8 leaves is more than just a technique of tradition. It has to come from within you. Precisely, you have proven yourself more than ready. I will now read the scroll the master enclosed in his letter.
Reen Schwarzer, you have mastered the techniques of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade School. You are granted the title Divine Blade. You may now take on disciples of your own.
I accept. Though on second thought, I'm not so sure I really deserve being called a Divine Blade. Marius and I have both walked upon this very same path. You will be the Master's last direct disciple. It is up to you how you accept the responsibility of the title bestowed upon you. I see that in that case, I wholeheartedly accept. I feel most privileged to have been present for this moment. I suspect the others will agree with my sentiment. Huh? Congratulations on your promotion. That move was incredible, even if I barely followed along. The way you wielded your sword was a sight unlike any other. It certainly was. I could hardly take my eyes away from you. You finally made it, Reen. What you did was inspiring beyond words. When did all of you get here? You must have really been in the zone back there. Ain't you supposed to be good at sensing people's presences or whatever? Guess he was just too focused to notice little old us. I guess so. Thank you, everyone, all of you. I wouldn't have made it this far without your help. You deserve it, Reen. Warms my heart to see you grow like this. So, should we start calling you Divine Blade Schwarzer now instead of Ashen Chevalier? He'll certainly need a spiffier moniker than that. Along the lines of the Divine Blade of Wind, perhaps. I don't know about all of that just yet. Come on, man, drop the humble and swagger up for once. The Divine Blade of Ash, maybe. Is that too obvious? I'm not sure Ash himself would like that very much. What about the Divine Blade of Light? He does light up our lives, after all. How about the Divine Blade of Dawn? The 7th form was Void, right? Let's call him the Divine Blade of Zero. That actually sounds pretty cool. They all seem more than satisfactory to me. Well, I, for one, don't very much appreciate him barreling ahead of me like this to begin with. Doesn't really matter, it's not like we actually call him anything different in the end. That's exactly right. To us, Reen will always be Reen. Congratulations, Reen. I'm proud of you. Reen's friends and colleagues congratulate him as he thanked them for their support. Lieutenant General Bright and Viscount Arsaid then returned to patrolling Mishelam for the night. So now we have Breaking Dawn. That reminds me, Joshua and the others have told me all about this Vantage Masters game. Just assembled a deck myself, and I'm looking for an opponent to test it out on. Maybe you'd like to play a run or two with me when you get a chance. Military strategists certainly make for an interesting opponent. Sure, I'd be happy to. I'm not all that confident that'll be much of a match for you, though. So we get the Cassius and Reen notes. Ascending to the next rank is a major junction. It is the start of a new era. I hope that one day we are able to test each other's swords once more. I would really enjoy that too. Tonight is a good night. Let us toast once more to the birth of a new Divine Blade. Fan of a drink, Lieutenant General? Better hurry before Sarah gets her hands on all that. Ah, mirror match.
Now then, shall we begin?
This could be very, very dangerous. I need a ranged guy off the bat. Come on, give me one. Okay, I want the Zamel pin on the back for its own protection because it's going to get ugly fast. He has a Zamel pin of his own. gonna do it this way. Actually, I'm better off doing it like this because it's gonna die anyway. It's gonna resurrect. If he falls in the trap of just resurrecting nonstop, I'll have him. Thing is, I do need to get non-fire ranged guy so I can start killing those penguins. I need my Tarbus, or I forgot what the other one is called. All he has are Zamelmans to revive. I'm actually going to leave that alone because I have a feeling I may need it for whatever revives next. There's a chance it could be a pellet, which would be the best case scenario right now because Blix can blow it away safely. So can even my fairy, so it doesn't matter. And I'm one mana off of being able to end this right now. Tamis, that's one that I needed sooner.
You win. I know when I'm beat.
3 Tentarch cards. Not familiar with those. Ah, there it is. 4 damage to all enemies. Thing is, with its extremely high cost, you're Yeah, you're gonna be a little pressed trying to squeeze that in somewhere.
Now then, shall we begin?
Especially if you can revive that thing, because that would be a monster of a card then. Really need the Tarbis. This will be a start, though. This way I don't have to worry about the resurrection this turn. Killing this one first to lower their HP, which means this will be a kill. Going for this because I want the seal. No resurrections.
You win. I know when I'm beat.
There you go. Very, very swift beatdown. Okay, it says our objective now is have fun. Mishelam Wonderland is open from 9 AM to 10:30 PM. Sky Lantern event takes place on the lakeside beach at 10. Sky Lanterns? Guess those must be the ones floating out on the lake. Must send them flying at night to illuminate the night sky. That does sound pretty magical. It goes to show why the theme park is hyped up as the best in all Zemuria. Well, I mastered the 8 Leaves style and used to spell my tickets. It's a lot for one day. I should think of getting some sleep, especially considering what awaits me tomorrow. So I choose call it a day. That's when the events will start taking place. An Emerald Amulet. You got this for me? It's just a little thing, but I want you to have it. There's something what might happen after tomorrow, so I thought you should have an amulet for good luck. I appreciate all the luck I can get. Soldier or no, depending on how things play out for the Great Twilight, I might... I'm sorry, I just killed the mood, didn't I? It's fine. My father's a soldier. I know what it's like to have to wait for someone to come home. But do make sure you come home, Nightheart. I want to see you again. Fiona. I'll be back, I promise you that. And they misspelled promise there. I'll hold you to that. If I remember right, those two are officially an item. They make a good match. Fiona's every bit as strong as he is. I've been trying to think what I can do besides waiting and hoping. So I'm holding a concert in St. Arc tomorrow with Marquis Hiram's permission, of course. It's a great idea. I'm sure your music will give everyone the courage they need. I certainly hope so. And that's just a repeat. So let's see what other markings there are for us. there's one on the second floor, one over there. Let's hit the one on the second floor since we're here. I'm hoping by going up the stairs the loading screen won't be as intense. Jeez, there's two up here. There you go, Professor. Is there something special about that notebook? Looks like it's seen a few winters, to say the least. It's nothing. Merely checking its contents before I dispose of it, to ensure that nothing important is overlooked, you see. It's one of the few relics left by my first disciple, after all. That means this is Franz Reinford's. Even now, it is a treasure trove of ideas. It actually offered an excellent solution for a problem that I identified. We've already pulled out all the research we can. There's no reason to hold on to what remains. I thought that our time apart might result in something productive, but it appears that hope appears to have been in vain. I see. Franz Reinford, according to what we saw in the spectral moon mirror, that was just an alias form. I'll leave it to you to figure out where to go from here. Right, Professor, we'll do what we can. By the way, if you're not opposed, I'd be grateful if you could hold off on disposing of that notebook. Until we reach a conclusion, with him, I mean. I don't see why not. I doubt I'll be in a position to deal with it tomorrow anyway. Thank you, Professor. Hard to believe it's been 10 years since. I had far higher expectations than this. How disappointing. Looks like he's still bothered by it after all. It seems we'll finally have to clear things up with him. The general here told me you reached some kind of crazy milestone. Congratulations. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you not to let this go to your head, right? Right, this isn't the end for me, it's only the beginning. I must admit, seeing two high-level 8 Leaves practitioners going at it lit a fire within me as well. Care to join me for a sparring session, Wallace? I want to work out some of the excitement. Sure, if that's what you want, count me in. I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear this from, but don't push yourselves too hard, alright? Divine Blade Schwarzer, eh? It's got a nice ring to it. Thanks. So that was one part of the pinnacle of the 8 Leaves style. It'll be a sight that I won't forget in this lifetime. Okay, we need... Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the center. I don't know if there's a closer warp or not. I'm so sorry about my father. He can be so quick-tempered. It's fine, I had it coming anyway. So thank you for putting it off for so long. Huh? What do you mean? Well, I was thinking, if everything goes right tomorrow, if we both make it through, okay, maybe I should finally go introduce myself to your family. You know, do it right this time. Do you mean it? Listen, we got a hard road ahead of us, but there's no one I'd rather walk it with than you, Mary. I feel the same way, Makarov. Oh, I'm glad I got to be here for this. I've been rooting for them since I was a student, so it's great to see them find some happiness in all this chaos. Makarov, thank you for talking to my father. I don't know if I'll make much of a wife, but I'll be glad to have you as my fiancée. Shucks. Let's worry about all that after we make it through tomorrow. Good evening. Looks like you fine fellows are having a splendid first time. How about we take this opportunity to help strengthen the bonds of our friendship? What say you? Ian told me about this. You really do pester people when you're sloshed, huh? Did you used to be an instructor at Thor's main campus? Anyway, would you mind not breathing on me like that? You reek of liquor. No, don't be like that. Come on, don't be so cold. I brought snacks and I'm willing to share. Oh boy. We know Instructor Thomas is a happy drunk at least. Now, which of you gentlemen gets the pleasure of sitting next to me? Him. You'll just have to take turns then. Wow, one of you, huh? Never would have guessed we'd reunite on a night like this one. It certainly is lovely. Though we've been keeping correspondence, I believe it's been on a year since we last met face to face. You invited me to tea and gave me such a thoughtful gift back then. You remembered? Why, of course I remember. You were the one to teach me what beautiful form love could take. How could I ever forget? Well, you know, I was just a youngster back then, that's all. Come on, Anton, you're enjoying this way too much. I love Sharon, really. She may have rejected me, but there's something I need to tell her while I can. I do wonder, why did you choose to come as far as Erebonia now? This may sound presumptuous, But could it be that you came here to see me? No, you got it all wrong. Well, actually, I mean, not all wrong. You don't know how much joy it brings me that you travel all this way for me. But as I already told you in my letters, you should utterly forget about me. I am not the person you think I am. Wait, but... I'm sorry I haven't told you this before. My life is one that's shrouded in darkness. The way I conduct myself and the way I love with selflessness is to cover up that part of me. So please, stop this. It's best you never come to see me again. Sharon, you don't mean that. Perhaps I should have said all this sooner. No, Sharon, can't you see? My heart aches when I think of yours. Huh? I realized something. In your final letter, I got the feeling you were trying to push back your own emotions. Under all that kindness, you harbor a terrible sorrow. It's weighed you down for a very long time, I believe. And that's why I had to tell you this one thing. You've had troubles in your life, and maybe you lost hope in yourself. But I believe in you. Your experience has made you who you are. Someone who makes everyone around her smile. Sorry, maybe I've overstepped there, but I really need to get it off my chest. I feel much better now. Anyway, I better get going. Promise me you'll take care of yourself, Sharon. Anton, wait. Huh? You took me by surprise, but now allow me to say something in return. I feel that I can finally face both my family and even myself all because of you. Thank you. I'm ever so grateful you came to see me. Anton? Your face is so red. Perhaps you should take a rest. Ricky, I think I'm in heaven. I only heard bits and pieces of their conversation, but it probably wasn't something I should be listening in on. Still, I'm pretty sure that Sharon feels just the same as he does. I'm glad they were reunited before the battle begins. Can't believe it, I actually got to spend more time with Sharon. It all feels like a dream. One I hope I won't have to wake up from anytime soon. Oh, that reminds me, Olivier, the guy who invited me, gave me this. You can have it. I've already had plenty of fun. And there's the 9th ticket. Okay, if you're sure, thanks. Of course, go ahead and enjoy yourselves. I can't believe this is finally happening, but what am I supposed to talk about? I know, sure, would you like to hear about my travels? It's nothing all that special, but... Don't say that, Anton. I'd love to hear about some of the things you've seen and done on the road. That's great. Okay, so there was this time I was hanging out in the capital of Burl, and... I don't remember what all happened in Gransel, but it could be quite a few things. So we have our final event. Yeah, I think we're gonna do Altina, I think. Don't really care for any of the students. Someone should probably have kept track how many times I said that throughout the course of the game. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna pull up the list here real quick. So, the things you can get from the guys. Kurt gives you an evasion charm that also has break damage attached to it. Ash gives you something for crit. Elliot gives you... He gives you something to reduce art cast time. That's the same as Emma, but his is more... His has EP instead of art defense. Machias gives you the same thing Elise does, except his is better, I'd say. You don't get evasion, but you get a delay component on it. Eustace, accuracy, CP regain. Like, you get twice for as much CP from acting, so instead of 10 per action, you get 20. And then crit 5%. Gaius is accuracy, evasion 10%, balance down. He also has CP regen thing, like... Was that Sarah who gave us the one? Yeah. Oh yeah, Sarah's just blows his out of the water. And then Crow. His is actually the interesting one. So do I want to do Crow instead? Speed 20, move 5, double break damage with a little bit of crit. Yeah, we're gonna do Crow. Wow, the view from here ain't half bad. But you sure I'm the one you want to be on this thing with? Wait, did you get dumped? No, nothing like that. And should you be flattered, just felt like spending some time with my best friend and me. Don't get all soppy on me, man. But we can forget the challenge we're facing for a while. It's not gonna jinx things. It's nice to relax and remember the good times. If you do get a little teary, I have some broad shoulders you can cry on. I think I'll pass this time. But thanks, Crow. The car gently lowered to the ground. So there were no stat boosts that came with that. Maybe it's after this they pop up.
Thanks, Reen.
Crow, what was this all about?
Well, this will probably be the last time we can hang out like this, you know? Overtime's gotta run out eventually. But hey, short as it was, we really ran with it. And here I was supposed to be the one helping you. Things ended up a little topsy-turvy on that one. You guys have grown. More than I'll ever get the chance to. It's gonna be an honor fighting by your side tomorrow.
Crow, you're not the only one who feels that way, you know. I mean, I am the sacrifice after all. Who knows what'll happen to us tomorrow? Still, with you by my side, I know we can overcome anything.
Then I'll be with you to the very last second, Reen. The Jaeger King and the Steel Maiden might have made some dramatic exits. But Crow Armbrust of Class 7's gonna blow him out of the water.
Let's show off to the end. I'm counting on you, partner. Strength and Arts. And you get the Azure Cairn. Huh, so the guys give you Cairns while the girls give you Anima. So then if you want to see his. So if you really don't want that regen aspect of Sarah's, stick with Crow's. See, I'm a little interested in how the break damage thing's gonna work. I'll probably alternate between the two of them and stuff to come. But otherwise, that's all of our tickets, so I'm going to take a bit of a break here, and then we're going to start doing the events one by one. Okay, I don't know about you guys, folks, but I'm good to call it a day here. Orb mail. I'll be waiting at the wetlands. CR. It could be a trap. Maybe I should just ignore it. You can end the evening free time from the action menu. Where did she say she would be? Here. What should I do? It could be a trap. It has to be her, but why now? I don't want to make everyone in worries, so I'll just go on my own. Like every other horror movie, am I right? Ah.
So you came after all.
Yeah, I know all about it now. But what's with the outfit? This? I wasn't sure about it at first either. But it's a uniform for the Knights of Blood and Iron. I feel a little embarrassed wearing this thing, to be honest. Oh no, I think it suits you. It's really flattering. Wait, what am I saying? So I take it this means you're done with the RMP. Yes, now that Operation Jormungand is ready, the RMP will be obsolete. I'll be joining up with Governor General Rufus, Prince Cedric, Lecter, and the others tomorrow. We'll all be mobilizing on board the Tuatha De Danann. I see. I'm sorry, Reen, I couldn't change after all. I set up this meeting so we could see each other one last time. Claire? Don't go easy on me now. As an Ironblood, I have a duty to apprehend you. I can force you to go where the upcoming rivalries will be taking place. Likewise, you'll have an opportunity to incapacitate one of your enemy's pawns. I hope you're not going to pass it up. Either way, we both have a lot to gain, don't you think? You may be right, but I still haven't given up on you. How? How can you possibly say that? I had you come here alone. I could have easily been planning an ambush. Please give me some credit. I would have sensed if there was anyone else here besides us. You came here alone, same as me. You didn't want Lecter or one of your other allies interfering, right? Besides, even if I wasn't able to sense a sneak attack coming, I know you wouldn't pull that kind of trick. That's not the Claire Revolt I know. Nobody bears a grudge against you, not me, or Mishelam, or Altina, or Yuna. Everyone in the old Class 7, even Sarah, would be happy to have you back by our side. There's no going back now. It won't change no matter what kind of front you put on, or how much you try to resist us. I'm sure it's the same for your brother and Major Irving. We all care about you so much. We'll never give up on you.
Stop it! How can you be so cruel? I stood by and let Mishelam die. I'm still going along with the Great Twilight. Don't you dare forgive me. If you don't hate me, how am I supposed to?
Come on now, Claire. You know that isn't fair.
Mishelam, you're here. Yeah, I saw you sneaking out. I got used to stand down while I came on my own to check things out. Should've known you were just going to meet a lovely lady. Oh, and speaking of that, your outfit is so cool, Claire. Right? How? My body may be gone, but my spirit lives on in the sword. And thanks to the Steel Maiden, I can walk around outside it again. Didn't Campanella tell you? Well, I guess he's not the type to share. Mishelam, it's really you. I'm so glad. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. I'm really bad at this stuff. I really need to work on my social skills, huh? Mishelam? Mishelam,
I'm not gonna make a mistake like that again. Even with what's happened, I'm still an Ironblood. I've gotta look out for you, too. Tomorrow, we'll finally settle things once and for all. With you, Lecter, Rufus, Gramps, and that newbie Prince, too. Me and Reen will get through to you guys.
She's right. We'll see you tomorrow. Regardless of Jormungand or Mille Mirage, I promise you that as a member of the Radiant Wings. Just have patience until then.
All right, if you insist. I'll be waiting for you. That's my promise as a knight and guardian of the Great Twilight and a pawn of the rivalries. When next we meet, I won't show any mercy.
Okay. We'll come at you with everything we've got. You can handle everything we got. Reen received his Tachi and something else. Sorry, I didn't mean to waste so much of your time on an important night like this. But I'm really happy I got to see you. Thank you, Reen. You too, Mishelam. Same here. Claire. So much for that barrier, right? Oh, it's a pretty fancy airship she came on. Wonder if it's one of those high-speed RMP dealies. Man, I wish we could have come along and checked it out. I bet it'd make for one hell of a joyride. If only things were that easy. For now, just seeing her face again is enough for me. We'll set everything right tomorrow. Yep, you bet we will. Meeting in secret like this is pretty fun, huh? I won't deny that, but we should be getting back. Roger. So we get Kaleido Hearts from Claire. is lame. Like, at this point, we don't need more set, but this would have been awesome earlier in the game. Now it's crap. Those are the breaks. Anyway, with Claire's thing now behind us, let's call it a day for real. So I don't know if I have to choose one of the girls or if they just go in order. Before long, the festivities started to come to a close. Those who attended readied themselves to head back to the hotel. After parting ways with everyone else, Rean found himself wandering toward the pier with no particular purpose in mind. Wow, you can see just about everything from here. The Courageous Two, the Merkabas, the Bobcat, even the Pantagruel. And across from it all, Crossbell City, and the blinding lights of Orcus Tower. The celebration's going to be over soon. Everyone's probably heading back to their rooms. I'll need to make a decision soon. Should I ask her to meet again? Or should I stop myself, assuming the worst of my fate tomorrow?
What a wonderful breeze.
That sounds like...
Wow, this is an amazing view. I can see Mishelam, the Pantagruel, and even Crossbell City. Bringing me here to sober up. My, you really know how to show a girl a good time.
Oh, it's nothing like that. I simply got the idea when we landed here this evening. More to the point, I had anticipated your inevitable inebriation, my dear Shara.
You really do know me. This is nice. I miss those days when we were able to share drinks together. But you've been doing a fantastic job ever since coming back to the Empire. Though they call you debaucherous prince, you never let it get to you. You've been there for your family. Hell, the whole Empire.
Well, I've never been without people supporting me. Mueller, my parents, Alphen, Class 7, the Viscount, the Erebonian Bracers. I can't forget Lloyd's team, and, of course, Estelle and Joshua. But most of all, you.
No, I couldn't do a thing to help you. Sure, I held on to the artifact for you and acted as a liaison. But I couldn't stop the Courageous from being destroyed. I couldn't keep you safe. I'm sorry, Olivier. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you. It must have been painful. You've suffered so much.
Now that you're here, all that pain is but a distant memory. We'll be there tomorrow. Together. That's all that matters.
But... No, you're right. Just leave it to me. The silver streak will light the way for your radiant wings.
I'll be counting on it. And it may not be fair to ask you at a time like this, yet. If we can claim victory in tomorrow's battle and stop the Great Twilight, if we can put out the fires of war and bring peace to this land once more, would you do me the honor of becoming my wife?
Whoops, didn't mean to invade their privacy there. Still, I knew they were close, but not this close. Guess that incident in Laboreal must have really helped bring them together. Can't say for sure if she'll accept his proposal or not, but I really hope she does. I'm rooting for you, Your Highness. What am I saying? I have my own decision to make right now. Who should I spend my last night with? I should probably turn Elise down beforehand. I really am the worst, aren't I? Emma.
Good evening, Reen. It's a wonderful night, isn't it?
It is indeed. It's thanks to you that we're able to enjoy ourselves tonight.
Well, Vida, Celine, and Grandmother are just as much to thank for that. But seeing as it led to this moment, I suppose I could stand to be a little prouder about it.
Emma. We both know I'm the sacrifice. There's no telling how tomorrow's battle will go. In other words, this might be the last night we spend together. So I wanted to thank you and also to tell you something. I love you, Emma. Not just as a friend, and not as the witch who guided me. You're kind, sincere, there's nothing in the world you wouldn't do for those precious to you. To be honest, sometimes it makes me want to keep you all for myself.
I feel the same way, Reen. I want to be more than just a benevolent witch. I want to be that special someone in your life.
Your perfume, it's Aerin flower. You said it elevates our feelings toward each other, right? You wore it just for me, didn't you? Thank you.
Perhaps. Huh, but you didn't need to bring it up. Oh, you always find ways to make me blush.
There they go, almost as if by magic.
Yes. There's no greater magic than that found in moments like these.
There you go, the Night of Promises has ended, and we are spellbound. So, that is it for now, folks. When we pick up next time, we'll be moving forward in the storyline, but, you can see we are now confirmed for the Emma route. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.